Hello everyone, welcome to the next episode 3.3, Compare and Order Decimals. The essential question is, how can you use place value to compare and order decimals? So here are the steps. You want to compare the ones, the tenths, the hundredths, and the thousands. So let's go ahead and start with this problem right here. Okay, these are three separate problems. Okay, and let's go ahead and take a look. Let's see if I can get that like that. Okay, cool. And it's saying compare, write less than, or greater than, less than, or equal. So 4.735, is it greater than, less than, or equal to 4.74? Well, let's compare the ones. They're both the same, right? They're both a 4. 4 here, 4 here. The tenths are both a 7 and 7, okay? Now, the hundredths, this is a 3 and this is a 4. Well, the 4 is bigger than the 3, therefore 4.74 is greater than 4.735. So this is less than 4.74. All right, let's do the same for the next one. The 3 is the same here. This is a 2, but this is a 0. The tenths are different. The 2 is greater than the 0. Therefore, 3.207 is greater than 3.027. And that's the greater sign, not a 7. Okay? It's greater because of the 2. This is a 2 and this is a 0. Okay? I know I got right into the examples, but hopefully you paused the steps and you wrote those down. If you did not pause and write the steps, make sure you go do that right now. Okay? Let's go ahead and get right back into it. This is 6.700 and this is 6.7. Well, you need to understand that these zeros don't really mean anything. They don't have to be there. So this is actually equal. It's the same exact number. Any zeros that just go on and on like that after a whole number, if there's no more whole numbers, it's just zeros, you can take them out. So this is the same exact number. 6.700 is the same as 6.7. All right. Hopefully you guys got that. If you have any questions, let me know. Okay, let's go ahead and let's do number 2. Example number 2. We have 4 examples total. And there's the steps if you need to write that down. Okay, you can pause and write that down. Hopefully you already did that. All right, so let's go with example number 2. This one is pretty interesting. It's saying order from greatest to least. So what we got to do here is just order from greatest to least. Which one's the biggest number? And keep going until you find the smallest. So I'm going to look, they all start with a 6, right? I'm looking at the ones. They all start with a 6. 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. Okay. Let's look at the tenths. Which tenth is the biggest number? Well, I see 3 is the biggest tenth, and we have 2 of them. So now we got to go to the hundredths. Which hundredth is bigger, the 2 or the 1? And here we see that the 2 is bigger. So our first number is 6.32. Okay? Our second number, I'm going to put a semicolon just to separate the numbers. You don't want to put a comma because it might look like a big old number, so you want to put a semicolon in between. The second biggest number was 6.318 because that one had the greatest tenth other than the first one, obviously. The third greatest number is 6.230, and the last one is 6.108. And the way you can see that is if you're just looking at the tenths, okay, the 2 is bigger than the 1. For here, the 3s were equal, so we had to go to the hundredths, and that showed us, oh yeah, the 2 is bigger than the 1 here. Okay, that's the second example. If you have questions on that, make sure you write it down so we can go over it the next day. Last 2 examples are coming up. Third example. Find the unknown digit to make each statement true. So you got a digit here and a digit here. So find the unknown digit to make each statement true. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. It says 2.48 is greater than 2.4 blank 1, which is greater than 2.463. Well, we can't put an 8 here because that wouldn't work. 2.481 is actually greater than 2.48. We can't put 6 here because 2.461 is not greater than 2.463. So the answer is 7. 2.48 is greater than 2.471, which is greater than 2.463. So you have to see, okay, I'm looking for a number in the hundredths. What number is smaller than 8 in the hundredth but greater than the 6 in the hundredth? Which number is bigger than that one and smaller than that one? And the answer is 7. Okay, we're comparing the ones, tenths, hundredths, and thousandths. That's all we're doing for all these examples. So let's go to the last part of example 3. You get 5.723. Looks like that's the same as this here and this here. So it looks like what we're looking at is the thousandths. That's what we're comparing. So this one's a 3, and this one is a 5. Okay, 5.723 is less than 5.72 blank, which is less than 5.725. Well, the only number I can think of that's greater than 3 and less than 5 is 4, and that is our answer. 5.723 is less than 5.724, which is less than 5.725. All right, very good, you guys. Let's go ahead and do the final example. This one's going to be a word problem, okay? So the 4th example says, below is a chart that shows the height of the different mountains in the state parks. Let me move that to its own page so we can see the whole problem. There we go. Okay, and you make sure you write this down. If you need to pause it, you can pause it right now. It's a great way to pause it right there. Pause it right there. Okay, so below is a chart that shows the height of the different mountains in the state parks. So you have the mountain in state with all the with this here and the height right here. Okay, how does the height of Cloud Peak compare to the height of Boundary Peak? So we're looking at Cloud Peak, which is this one right here, and Boundary Peak, which is this one right here. So the height of Cloud Peak is 2.495. The height of Boundary Peak is 2.488. So if we're going to compare them, we have to look. Okay, they both have the same ones, right? 2 and 2. They have the same tenths, 4 and 4, but their hundredths is different. Cloud Peak has a 9, whereas Boundary Peak has an 8. Well, 9 is greater than 8, therefore it is greater. Okay, and my answer would be Cloud Peak is greater than the height of Boundary Peak. Okay, and that's what I would write. Okay, this is greater. Okay. And if I was to write this as an actual statement, okay, it would be something like Cloud Peak is a greater height than Boundary Peak. And that's it. Alright guys, if you have any questions, make sure you write them down. It's a pretty short video because all you're doing is comparing the ones, tenths, hundredths, and thousandths. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.